Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini ChannelEye. I'm Sharon Mascarenhas.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minipurarachi and I'll just move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
The report of the Ministerial Subcommittee is to be handed over to the President upon study of the reports on Easter attack and national defence. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva says that the 1,000 rupee daily wage of the plantation labourers should be provided with effect from the 1st of March. Importation of palm oil is completely banned with immediate effect. The UNICEF organisation reiterates that an increase in maternal deaths has not taken place as a result of the corona pandemic. The Indian government says that the provisions of AstraZeneca vaccine to Sri Lanka has not been suspended. The Minister of Justice says in Parliament that removal of Mohan Piris from the post of Chief Justice was unconstitutional.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The report of the Presidential Investigation Commission on the Easter Sunday attack and the final report of the Ministerial Subcommittee to recommend measures upon studying of the report of the Sectorial Oversight Committee on National Defence presented to Parliament were presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today. The reports have been handed over by Chairman of the Committee, Minister Chamal Rajapaksa. The President has appointed the committee on the 19th of February 2021. The committee report was scheduled to be presented before the 15th of March. However, the committee was granted 2 more weeks for further investigation of the reports. The committee, upon detailed investigation of the report, has identified 78 recommendations. Similarly, the report includes measures on how to implement the recommendations and the institutions which are responsible for the implementation of such measures. The President has earlier submitted to the Attorney General recommendations pertaining to legal issues. The other members of the committee are Ministers Johnson Fernando, Ramesh Pathiruna, Prasanna Ranatunga and Rohitha Begunawardena. Director General of President's Office and Secretary to the committee Harigupta Rohanathira was also present on this occasion of the handing over of the reports.
The Appeals Court has rejected today the provision of an injunction order requested by plantation companies against the increasing of daily wages of plantation labour to 1,000 rupees. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva said at a media briefing in Colombo today that accordingly the estate labourers should be given the 1,000 rupee daily wage with effect from 1st of March. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva said that it is compulsory for the employers to pay the increased daily wages to the labourers until the provision of the final verdict of the case. He added that if the plantation companies refuse to comply with this order, the Commissioner of Labour has the authority to file a case against the employers and recover the payments. The Gazette notification remains valid as it was not abolished or given a restraining order. Opinions have been expressed in this connection at the media briefing presided over by State Minister Jeevan Thondaman at the Ceylon Workers' Congress office.
And meanwhile, Minister of Justice Ali Sabri says that it is unconstitutional to remove Mohan Piris from the post of Chief Justice. Delivering a statement in Parliament, he further said that steps will be taken to rectify the shortcoming. Meanwhile, backbenchers in Parliament have been accorded an opportunity today to present 50 queries to relevant ministries. Minister of Justice Ali Sabri said that according to the orders of the then President, Mohan Piris was informed by the President's Secretary in a letter dated 28th of January 2015 that he had been removed from the post of Chief Justice. According to the Constitution, the authority on such a decision lies with the Parliament. The removal of a judge in the Supreme Court or the Appeals Court should have to be carried out through a parliamentary procedure, and the President has no power to do so. Therefore, the decision was against the Constitution as well as the standing orders. The Minister further said that he hopes to conduct talks with Prime Minister in this connection to receive his advice. It has also been proposed today to identify reforms in the legislation to the structure of election and voting structure and to appoint a special parliamentary committee relating to the presentation of relevant amendments.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that the Sathosa constantly provides high-quality goods to the consumers. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo today, he added that the opposition are raising baseless accusations in this regard. The minister said that the opposition leader has blatantly undermined the relief being granted to the people. It is a serious offence to deceive the masses. The entire business sector has been subjected to calamity due to the provision of 12 types of commodity items at an extremely competitive low price of 1,000 rupees. The minister added that the sack of relief items has been prepared by the government, giving special consideration to the quality of items. The minister further said that the same items have been purchased at a price of 1,333 rupees from a supermarket. The minister has also expressed his gratitude to the consumers for making it possible for the Sathosa to record the highest sales in history. The Sathosa will be kept closed only on the 14th and 15th of this month. Sacks of commodity items at relief prices are scheduled to be handed over from the 16th to facilitate visiting of relatives during the festive season. The Sathosa daily sales income is 140 million rupees. 27 consumer items are being provided at concessionary rates.
The government has taken measures to immediately ban the importation of palm oil. The President's Secretary has informed the Controller of Imports and Exports to issue the relevant gazette notification. The order has been taken according to the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The Director General of Customs has been given instructions to completely halt the release of imported palm oil stocks to the market. Meanwhile, the palm oil cultivators have also been fully banned. A communique released by the President's office says that the orders have been imposed under relevant legislation to import the instructions given by the President. The President has given orders 6 months ago to gradually halt the palm oil cultivation in the country. Instructions have also given to take necessary measures to remove the palm oil cultivation on a stage-by-stage basis. Accordingly, 10% of the cultivation is to be removed in a year. The relevant companies and institutions are bound by law to replace the cultivations with rubber or any other environmentally friendly crops. The government is determined to eradicate palm oil cultivation as well as palm oil consumption.
Inoculation of the Sinopharm vaccine to residential Chinese nationals has commenced today. The Chinese government has provided 600,000 doses of the vaccine to Sri Lanka. The UNICEF organization says an increase in maternal deaths has not been reported due to corona pandemic. Provision of Sinopharm vaccine to Chinese nationals is taking place centering on the districts of Colombo, Kandy, Hambantota and Puttalam. Inoculation program has commenced from the Colombo Port City premises today. Meanwhile, another inoculation campaign has got underway at the Kirula Road maternal home in Colombo, where Chinese nationals were given Sinopharm vaccine. Sri Lankan citizens over the age of 60 years have also been given the AstraZeneca vaccine on this occasion. Sinopharm vaccine has been inoculated to Chinese nationals at the Kadugannao Medical Officer of Health Office premises as well. The Indian government reiterates that provision of AstraZeneca vaccine to Sri Lanka has not been halted. A spokesman of the Indian High Commissioner's office in Colombo has stated upon inquiry by the media that exportation of vaccine has not been suspended to any country, including Sri Lanka. The High Commissioner's office says that this fact has been substantiated by the Indian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on last Friday as well. Sri Lanka is one of the 80 countries receiving the COVID-19 vaccine from India. The High Commission Office representative further said that Sri Lanka was the first country to receive the vaccine from India. It has also been reported that more than 1.2 million persons have received the AstraZeneca vaccine imported from India. The number of recoveries from COVID-19 has reached 90,563. Another 2,392 patients are undergoing treatment.
And the Director of Family Health Bureau, Dr. Chitramali De Silva, says that the country has not recorded any increase in maternal mortality during the COVID-19 pandemic. She made these remarks while addressing a joint media briefing held today at the Department of Government Information to clarify some assertions and media reports publicized by several local and foreign media outlets on maternal mortality in Sri Lanka during the pandemic situation.
In any emergency situation, any disaster situation, the mortality and the morbidity can increase. So that is why the Ministry of Health, the Family Health Bureau, along with all the development partners and the professional colleges, we establish a good mechanism to respond to the COVID pandemic situation to maintain essential maternal and child health services from the beginning. We develop a lot of guidelines, how the maternal and child health services should be implemented right across the country. So these guidelines to be sent to all the provincial and the regional health directors, the hospital directors. They were actually using all these guidelines to minimize the mortality and the morbidity related to maternity care. Many actions were taken to provide care for pregnant mothers during the COVID pandemic situation. It was not easy because we had to get our staff also protected and also get the antenatal clinics, the maternity clinics and the hospitals be a safe place for all the mothers to come. We had a very good information system where we get the data right from the midwife level up to the national level, how many pregnant mothers are registered, how many come into the clinics, and also how many babies were weighed, all that available with us. So with that, we actually got the data on the maternal deaths also, and we found that there was no increase in maternal deaths reporting because of the COVID pandemic situation in 2020.
In 2020, UNICEF commissioned a modelling exercise to estimate some of the effects for mothers and children in South Asia. In March 2021, UNICEF released the report, and this showed areas for significant concern. Across South Asia as a whole, the modelling exercise estimated that 228,000 more children had died in 2020 than in 2019 because of the effects of the pandemic, and that 11,000 more women died in 2020 than in 2019, again because of the effects of the pandemic. I must stress that these numbers are estimates based on modelling. Modelling has played an important role throughout the pandemic because it provides important insights, but it also has limitations. When this work was reported in the media, these caveats were unfortunately not always reported. In Sri Lanka, the number that has caused particular concern was the estimate of how many mothers died in 2020. The model estimated the number of deaths as an additional 20 mothers between January 2020 and June 2021. Understandably, this caused a lot of concern within government, by the media, and amongst the public. Since the release of the report, we have worked with the modelers to generate updated estimates for Sri Lanka. Those updated estimates look much more positive than the earlier estimates, and the model now predicts that just one additional maternal death between January 2020 and June 2021. I must stress this remains an estimate, but of course this is very good news for Sri Lanka.
And back with more local stories, Minister Professor Jill Peiris, addressing a media briefing of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna in Colombo today, said that the report of the intellectual committee appointed to draft a new constitution is expected to be released by June of this year. Minister Professor Jill Peiris said the drafting of a new constitution takes a prominent place in the government's program. It is a strong necessity. The minister added that the present constitution was drafted 43 years ago. The minister further said that during the past 4.5 decades, the Sri Lankan society has changed considerably. Therefore, the present constitution is showing outdated signs. The minister also said that it is timely need to prepare a new constitution by subjecting the current constitution to an in-depth study. This has to be done cautiously. The minister added that the recent government has appointed an intellectual committee in this regard. He has expressed hope to the committee of intellectuals handing over its report to the government before June.
The appeals court has ordered to annul a petition without examining filed by Ranjan Ramanayaka requesting to issue a writ order preventing the abolition of his parliamentary post. Ramanayaka was recently sentenced to a 4-year prison term for defaming the judiciary. Attorneys at law appearing on behalf of Ramanayaka told the courts that there are preparations to abolish the parliamentary post of their client. They have also pointed out that their client was convicted not for an offence of criminal nature and therefore there was no legal basis to abolish his parliamentary position. The panel of judges, upon consideration of his petition, said that there was no legal basis in the facts presented in the petition.
And the reconstruction of the playground of the Bogavesta College has commenced today, following a pledge given by the president at the Gama Samaga Pilisundara program held in Verivaitya Kalu village in Vaunia district. The Sri Lanka Army is in charge of the reconstruction. A female student of the school has requested the president to renovate the school playground.
උත්තර පළාත් නව ක්‍රීඩා වාර්තාවක් තබමින් පළමු ස්ථානයේ දිනා ජයග්‍රහණය කිරීමට හැකි වුණා. ක්‍රීඩා තරඟ කිරීම සඳහා සුදුසු ක්‍රීඩා පිටියක් හා ක්‍රීඩා උපකරණ නොමැති වීමෙන් පුහුණුකරුවෙකු සිටියද සමස්ත ලංකාවේ ජයග්‍රහණයක් කිරීමට මට වාසනාවක් උදා වුණේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මම ඔබතුමාගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා අපට ක්‍රීඩා පිටියක් සකස් කර ගැනීමට හා ක්‍රීඩා උපකරණ ලබා ගැනීමට අවශ්‍ය කටයුතු සිදු කර දෙන්න කියලා.
ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමනි මේ පිටිනේ එහා පැත්තේ තියෙන එක බැලුවා 200 ට්‍රැක් එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන් සර්.
The reconstruction is being carried out by the 8th Engineering Service Regiment under the supervision of the commander of the 1 Defence Forces, Major General D.M.H.D. Bandara. And the Ministry of Sports has decided to implement a program titled Family Sun Saturday with the objective of familiarizing the people on the practice of engaging in walking at least once a week. It will get underway from the Colombo Race Cruise at 6 am on the next Saturday. Minister Namal Rajapaksha, at a media briefing held to enlighten the relevant groups at the Sports Ministry today, said the program will start with a Cycle Sunday event. The minister further said that they have also commenced a Football Friday program along with the program which has become extremely popular. Every last Saturday of the month has been named as a volunteer day. According to the information received, more than 100,000 youth will engage in voluntary work on this day. The minister further said that they hope to realize the objective of the participation of all members in the family in volunteer work on the first program to be conducted on the 10th of this month at the race cruise in Colombo.
අපි LSR ආයතනයත් එක්කත් සාකච්ඡා කළ තීන්දුව කරා සෙනසුරාදා දිනේ උදේවරුේ කොළඹ මේ රේස් කෝස් පිටියේ පළවෙනි වැඩසටහන ආරම්භ කරන අප්‍රේල් මාසයේ 10 වෙනිදා. ඉතින් ඒ තුල අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ පවුලේ සියලු දෙනා එක්ක අම්මා තාත්තා දරු.
In other stories, the Kumbhabhisheka festival of the Mayurapati Kovil in Vellavata was conducted yesterday. The Kumbhabhisheka festival is considered as the main ceremony to have taken place upon the reconstruction of the Kovil. This was the first festival to be conducted after the reconstruction of the Kovil taken place after a period of 30 years. Trustee of the Mayurapati Kovil, Chief Clergyman Padmanathan Abhaparama has presided over the special puja. Madam Shiranthi Rajapaksa also present on the occasion.
And the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Hambantota District Pirivena and Dhamma School Teachers Conference was conducted at the Tangol Urban Council Hall yesterday. It was conducted under the patronage of the Mahasangha. Minister Namal Rajapaksha, State Minister G.V. Chanaka, Lalita Lavala and Ajit Rajapaksha, as well as Dhamma School teachers, male and female prefects, have also attended the meeting. The SLPP Kegol District Dhamma School Conference was also held at the Kegol Town Hall yesterday under the patronage of the Mahasangha. State Minister Kanaka Herath and Taraka Balasurya have also attended the event. The Ratnapura District Conference of the Local Government Progressive Workers Association was conducted in parallel to the 4th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at the Sabaragamuwa Provincial Council Auditorium. Ratnapura Electorate Organizer of the SLPP, Ranjit Bandara, Chairperson of the SLPP Educational Services Association, Vasanta Handapangoda, and several regional politicians have also attended the event.
The newly appointed Board of Officials of the All Ceylon Buddhist Congress have assumed duties at the headquarters building in Colombo today. A vote on the election of a new administration for the 101-year-old Buddhist institution has taken place yesterday. Former DIG Chandra Vakishta and physician Asoka Kamaladasa have competed for the post of president, and Chandra Vakishta was elected by a majority vote. Former president of the ACBC Jagat Sumatipala did not contest this time. Roshan Madhumage was elected as deputy president. Former Army Commander Dayan Ratnayaka has assumed duties as the treasurer. Other officials have also assumed duties amidst religious observances.
And meanwhile, media analyst Nalaka Gunawardena says that supervision of the accuracy of data is of utmost importance today than ever before. He reiterates that media persons should engage in their profession based on accurate facts. He made these remarks on the occasion of the inauguration of a certificate course on supervision of the electronic media held at Sri Lanka Press Council Auditorium today. Media analyst Nalaka Gunawardena said that there is a difference between making lies deliberately and making lies due to misinformation. The newsroom staff has a special responsibility to disseminate information of which accuracy has been established. It is extremely important for both the television and radio to provide only true and accurate information.
And the national channel is all set for our Little Buck Festival. Sundara Nuwareliya Saladihini Vasanthe will be conducted till the 30th of this month. The national television is the media sponsor of the program organised by the Nuwareliya Municipal Council. Today is the 5th day of the Sundara Nuwareliya Saladihini Vasanthe program. The visitors are able to feel the beauty of an enchanting environment. Places of natural beauty could be identified when one travels up to Pattipula in the upcountry.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe.